a world that never stops talking, where every moment is filled with noise, notifications, and endless chatter, have you ever considered the profound power of what is left unsaid? We are constantly told to speak up, to voice our opinions, to make ourselves heard. But what if the greatest strength, the most powerful statement you can make, is found not in words, but in silence? Today, we re-diving deep into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism to uncover the 6 deep truths about silence. This isn't about being passive or weak. This is about discovering a hidden superpower that can transform your relationships, your confidence, and your inner peace. This is about learning how to master the art of Stoic silence. Let's get one thing straight from the start. The silence we're talking about isn't an awkward, empty void. It's not about ignoring people or giving them the silent treatment out of spite. Stoic silence is a conscious choice. It's a form of inner strength, a display of emotional discipline. It's the quiet confidence of someone who is in control of their inner world, regardless of the chaos outside. When everyone else is reacting, shouting, and losing their composure, the Stoic remains centered. Their silence is a shield and a statement, all in one. It's the calm eye of the storm. Now, let us explore the first deep truth. Silence makes your absence felt more than any argument ever could. Think about a time you were in a heated discussion. Words were flying, emotions were high. Now, imagine if, instead of adding more fuel to the fire, one person simply went quiet. The entire dynamic shifts. Your sudden silence creates a vacuum. The other person is left with their own words, their own emotions, echoing in the space you've created. When you walk away from a toxic situation without a word, your absence speaks volumes. It says, "My peace is more valuable than this conflict." It forces the other person to confront the space you once filled, and in doing so, they feel your absence in a way that 1,000 angry words could never achieve. Your silence becomes a presence in itself. This leads us to our second truth. Silence often reveals the truth louder than words. Words can be deceiving. People can lie, manipulate, and create elaborate stories. But silence is pure. It's an unfiltered space where the truth has room to breathe. When you are confronted with accusations or drama and you choose to remain silent, you're not admitting guilt. You are holding a mirror up to the situation. Your calm demeanor in the face of chaos can make the other person's frantic energy seem absurd. Their own exaggerated claims and emotional outbursts start to crumble under the weight of your quiet stability. Silence cuts through the noise and exposes the raw, unvarnished truth of a situation. It allows you to observe, to see what's really going on beneath the surface-level drama. The third truth is a tough but crucial one. Begging for closure is a form of self-betrayal. We've all been there. A relationship ends, a friendship fades, and we're left with a million unanswered questions. We crave that final conversation, that moment of closure where everything is explained and tied up in a neat little bow. But the Stoics would tell us that seeking closure from someone who hurt you is like asking your enemy for medicine. You're giving them the power to define your peace. True closure doesn't come from another person's explanation or apology. It comes from within. It comes from accepting what happened, learning from it, and choosing to move forward. Your silence, in this case, is an act of self. It's you telling yourself, "I don't need your words to heal. My peace is my own responsibility." You reclaim your power by refusing to beg for something someone is unwilling or unable to give. Let us move on to the fourth deep truth. Silence exposes what words are desperately trying to hide. People often use a flood of words as a smokescreen. They talk incessantly to distract you, to control the narrative, or to hide their own insecurities and intentions. When you respond with silence, you don't give them anything to work with. Their verbal barrage hits a calm, unmoving wall. This often makes them uncomfortable. They might talk even more, trying to fill the void, and in doing so, they often reveal their true motives. They expose to their own inconsistencies and anxieties without you having to say a single word. Your silence becomes a powerful tool of discernment, allowing you to see past the facade and understand the real dynamics at play. This brings us to our fifth, and perhaps most empowering truth. Not explaining yourself is the highest form of self-confidence. How many times have you felt the urge to justify your decisions, your feelings, or your life choices to others? We live in a culture that demands explanations. But the truth is, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your life. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about focusing on one's own path and not being swayed by the opinions of others. When you are truly confident in your actions and your principles, you don't feel the need for external validation. Your silence in the face of criticism or questioning is not arrogance. It's a quiet declaration that says, I know my why. I trust my judgment. Your approval is not required. This level of inner security is magnetic. It shows you are guided by your own internal compass, not the shifting winds of public opinion. Finally, the sixth deep truth. Detachment and silence teaches lessons without drama. When you need to teach someone a lesson, especially about how their actions affect you, a dramatic confrontation is often the least effective method. It just creates more conflict and defensiveness. Instead, practicing silent detachment can be a far more powerful teacher. This isn't about punishment, it's about consequences. When you silently pull back your energy, your time, and your attention from someone who consistently disrespects your boundaries, you're not creating a scene. You are simply letting them experience the natural outcome of their behavior. The absence of your presence, the lack of your usual engagement, teaches them about the value of your connection in a way that no lecture ever could. They learn through experience, not through conflict. The philosopher Epictetus reminded us that our peace comes from distinguishing what we can control from what we cannot. You cannot control others' behavior, but you can control your response. Silent detachment is the ultimate controlled response. So, how do we apply this in our daily lives? It starts with small, conscious choices. The next time you feel the pull to jump into a pointless online argument, pause. Choose silence. The next time someone tries to bait you into drama, take a deep breath and offer a simple, non-engaging response, or no response at all. When you feel the overwhelming need to explain your life choices to someone who will never understand, remind yourself that your peace is more important. Use silence to set boundaries. Use it to observe before you react. Use it to connect with your own thoughts, instead of getting lost in the noise of the world. This isn't about being cold or aloof. It's about being the unshakable master of your own inner citadel. It's about conserving your energy for what truly matters. Embracing Stoic silence is a journey. It's about unlearning the frantic need to react and learning the profound strength of conscious stillness. It's choosing wisdom over words, peace over pointless battles, and self-respect over the need for approval. It is one of the most direct paths to reclaiming your personal power and cultivating an unshakable inner peace. So, I invite you to try it. Embrace the quiet. Let your silence speak for itself. You might be amazed at how loud it can be. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights on ancient wisdom for modern life.